Somewhere on the ice, a man counted footsteps that weren't his. 36 hours. No sleep, no food, and a fourth set of footprints beside three men who were completely alone. Decades later, scientists would find a way to build that fourth presence, on command, in a lab, with nothing but a robot and a few seconds of delay. His name was Ernest Shackleton. His ship crushed, his crew starving, crossing ice nobody had ever mapped. He felt it beside him for 36 hours. And he wrote about it later, carefully, almost embarrassed. He wasn't the only one. This has a name now, the third man factor. Everest, alone, no oxygen. A climber counts his own footsteps on the way down, and there is always one too many. The Andes, a broken leg, a voice that isn't his own telling him exactly when to move and when to stop. And he survives because he listens. A stairwell filling with smoke on September 11th, and something beside every one of them, guiding them down floors they can no longer see. 3 continents, 3 centuries apart, and every single time, the same uninvited guest. For decades, nobody could test any of this. You cannot put a dying mountaineer into a lab. So in 2014, researchers in Switzerland stopped waiting for someone to nearly die. They built a machine. A person's finger moved, and a robotic arm touched their back a fraction of a second later. Every time. Nothing more than that. Test subjects reported an invisible person standing directly behind them. Some spun around to grab it. One subject asked the researchers to stop the experiment. The region responsible sits at the exact border in your brain where you separate yourself from everything that is not you. Push that border far enough, and your brain manufactures a second person to explain what it can no longer sort out. Not a hallucination, a misfiring border. And every man on that ice and that mountain and in that stairwell had pushed it past its limit. That explains why the presence appears. It does not explain why it helped. A hallucination born from confusion should be random, frightening, useless. This one wasn't. None of them were ever led wrong, not once. Not fear, not delirium. Guidance. A poet read Shackleton's account in 1922 and wrote one line that has outlived him. Who is the third who walks always beside you? A century later, we can build that exact sensation on command. With a robot and a few seconds of delay, we can build the ghost. What we still cannot explain is why, every single time, in the coldest and loneliest moment a person can survive, the ghost we build turns out to be on our side. Maybe it was never a second person. Maybe when the part of your brain that separates you from the world gets pushed past what it can hold, it does not invent a stranger. It splits you in two, one half freezing, one half calm enough to keep the other one walking. And if that's true, the question was never who walked beside Shackleton on that mountain. It's who walks beside you. The next time you are the one who needs saving.